Hello, welcome to Julie Lessons podcast and YouTube channel. Today I have the lovely Martine with me, and she's going to tell us about what she does, and she's such an amazing person. I'm just delighted to have her being with me today. So Martine, can you tell us a little bit about your background, please?
First of all, thanks, Julie, for inviting me on this morning. That's very kind indeed. Thank you. An absolute pleasure to be here. Love your hairdo, as I said earlier to you. Beautiful. Reminded me I've got to go to the hairdressers now. As I say, thanks very much. I am a Reiki master teacher and an energy practitioner. So I actually work a lot with the energy body. I do feel these days that we do need to treat the whole body when something goes wrong with us, and to address it as much as we can, because sometimes we need to go beyond what's just happening to us to find out what the root cause is. Because at times I feel we just deal with it. I've got my drumstick in my hand. I beg your pardon. Golly gosh, you were right away. When we deal with things in life and we go to the doctor, bless them, they're great. I've been through the system many times myself when I was diagnosed with cancer years ago, which I'm all clear now. And, it's addressing the whole human body, which is the emotional body as well, and finding out where you might have trapped fears or triggers that need to be released to release anything that you're holding in your body from the past. So everything I do is technically worked around the energy and raising your vibration, because as Einstein says, we're all energy. And the brain, the power of the brain and the thought process is phenomenal. Change your thought, you'll change your actions. And that little saying is so fundamental to everything that I actually do. So I involve myself a lot with raising the vibe, making you happier, of course, because happiness is not a destination. We all know that. It's got to come from within. So we've got to find things in our life that give us quality, that give us that time that we feel individual, whether it be nature or dancing around the house like a loony with the music turned up loud, which I do often, I have to say. Sing, but I can't sing. But all of that little stuff that we forget about, and I call that going back to basics, Julie. Going back to the fundamental basics, things that put a smile on your face. You do that, then you are actually naturally going to change the vibration in your body. So the higher the vibration we are, the higher we raise our vibration, the clearer we are energy-wise. Because when our vibration is allowed to go low, which happens through trauma, dramas, everyday life, because life can be challenging. But when our vibration is low, that's when we can attract in illness and we can attract in disease. I know exactly why it happened to me all those years ago, but now I'm on a plan to make sure that's never going to happen again by keeping my vibration and my frequency up at a good level. So the few things that I do is, obviously Reiki is my passion. It's been my passion way back in Scotland, because I emigrated to New Zealand about 11 years ago. Still feel I'm on holiday half the time, because this country is absolute paradise, I have to say.
Thank you.
Everybody says to me, but they say, Julie, we've had a terrible, terrible winter. And I look at them and I'm like, terrible? Try living in Scotland, darling. It's 3 months of winter and 9 months of bad weather and rain and grey skies. But no, the people are beautiful, the country's beautiful, but here I really think we've got a slice of paradise. But it's recognizing that you are living in that paradise. In the morning you wake up and today the sun's shining, and I've picked a room to speak to you where I've got the sun coming in. Nice. Because to me that's really important. It's like it's charging me up, charging my battery, keep me going. But I can talk on forever, but I'll go on a little bit and tell you about what else I do, and jump in any time, because us Scots are known for talking away out a paper bag. We just talk. That's because the weather's so bad, we've got nothing else to do when you're trapped inside.
Sounds great. I'm enjoying learning. Okay, keep going.
Well, what I do is obviously Reiki. Most people know about the energy modality, Reiki energy, and I do teach that as well, and I've got such a passion for teaching. It's just Reiki 1 especially is for people who are not just new to energy work, but people that want to take complete charge of themselves. So, and it's called the healing journey. And that's when it all starts with you. And it's sometimes we do have to be selfish in life, because it is all about you. Because if you don't look after yourself, then things are going to go wrong, or you're going to attract the negative vibe in. Okay, so the Reiki work is one part of thing, but vibrational sound therapy I love, and I couldn't resist. You see me flashing my wee drumstick earlier on, is one of these big. Listen to that. The vibration of the Remo Buffalo drum. That's gorgeous. So I work a lot with sound. I'm not musical. I can't sing. I pretend to sing. But where music and sound's concerned, sound emits off a vibration and a frequency. And because our body is made up of so much of a percentage of, I think it's 68 to 70% of water. Forgive me, I don't have the exact figure, the percentage, made up of so much water. You can imagine throwing a pebble into a very still pond and then the water just ripples out. Well, when our body is lying on that table and I'm doing my work, I call it my wee magic, then when I use all my accompaniments, my instruments, that vibration of sound resonates through the body. It's absolutely amazing. And there's different hertz that are chakras, and our chakras being our main energy centers, that we work on the main 7, and I talk about the main 7, although we have many, many, many more than that. I focus on the main 7, and I think that's enough for people to take in and to work on a continual daily basis. That is definitely. So each chakra has a different frequency and a different vibration. So when I'm working with the sound, it all brings them all into balance as well. And you probably know about the chanting Om, like Om. Om is known as the universal frequency. So it's the frequency of the universe. And I like to work with that vibration as well. And when people are sitting in a group and they're chanting Om, it's absolutely amazing the energy that you will feel and the vibration that's created in the room. That they're not in harmony necessarily because their Oms and Ahs are all over the place. But to them as an individual, they're moving themselves into that universal frequency and alignment. And alignments are really, it's a good word to use to have our body in alignment, to be in alignment with ourselves, to be in alignment with the reality, the 3D reality that we're in, etc., etc. So I use a lot. I use the drum, which I love, but this is another one I just wanted to cling for you. Excuse me a minute to find my wee clanger. There we go. These are one of the very many Tibetan singing bowls that I use. So I'll give it a little clink because I can't resist it. Now in this room it's slightly different because when I do my treatment rooms it's a higher ceiling, so it's got the high levels, so the vibration actually really echoes in a higher room. So I use the singing bowls a lot. I've got so many other instruments that I use, and everybody's different and what instrument resonates with them. And I always like to have a chat with them at the end about that as well, which is great. So that's a part of energy work that people sometimes don't realise that sound is part of that, because at the end of the day, everything is energy. And I keep looking back to my good old mate, Einstein. I love his
good old mate, yeah.
Oh, good old mate Einstein. In fact, I was thinking the other day, my mum and dad are in Scotland and I'm hoping they're coming over. I've not seen them in 5.5 years, Julie, so I'm really looking forward to seeing them because I can't fly long haul after complications with blood clots and stuff after chemo years ago. So I can't wait to see them at all. And Dad actually with a big moustache and the ruffly hair, because he's always had messy hair. And I'm like, by golly, my dad's looking like Einstein these days. It's great. So I might have play a wee trick on people when he comes over or something.
Sounds like a good plan.
But then again, humour as well. Got to have a sense of humour. Humour is good in life. Humour is necessary. Smiling is necessary. And laughing is amazing. Now, I could look at you right now and start laughing and I can see your mouth starting to move already. And that's because I also have been trained in laughing yoga. Now, laughing yoga, people's like, oh, golly, she'll have us like a contortionist like this or like that, or the dog, the cat, the bridge, or whatever the poses might be, and we're laughing. No. The only part of yoga, in laughing yoga, is the diaphragmic breathing, to regulate your breathing and to regulate your blood pressure, etc., and to bring you back down. That's the only part of laughing yoga. The main part of it, it actually works on the mirror neurons in the brain. So eye-to-eye contact Have you ever gone to a restaurant or had a coffee with a friend, Julie, that you both end up picking the cup up at the same time? Or you both are talking to each other and you're both sitting like this? Yeah. Try next time. Focus and see if you're doing it, or you're sitting like this, or you both start scratching your head at the same time. That's because the mirror neurons in the brain are working. The connection's there between the two of you. So that's how I operate with a group in Laughing Yoga, is eye contact with everybody, and they all do these silly, silly, silly things, which is really uplifting. So it's like bringing out the inner child in you as well. But when we bring out the inner child and we start to laugh, we inadvertently release all the beautiful endorphins in our body. We release the serotonin, we release the dopamine and all those beautiful endorphins, but we also kickstart the body's natural pain relief system. Now that in itself is amazing. So that's the kind of thing I have tried and tested for a long time, because I do have a condition called osteoporosis. That's the last I'm saying about it. Doesn't bother me because I don't allow it to bother me. No disrespect from people that it does bother, but it's just my mindset has been changed and firmly set that I will get through this. And it does take a long time to build up that kind of mindset, but it can be done, Julie. With the right assistance and the right help, you can get there. Anything is achievable, because the actual human body is amazing, but the human psyche and what's in that mind, and we talk a lot about mind over matter. Well, it is. It's so strong because the power of a thought is amazing. You know, and I know I'm jumping in and out here because, as usual, I've always got so much to blink and say, but that's the way it goes. If we need to go back, we can jump back, as long as that's all right. I'm going to take a drink of water now, so if you want to ask a question, fire away.
I'll just say something. It's interesting you're talking about the laughing, because children laugh so much more than adults. And children generally, if they're not being bullied or something like that, they are happy souls. So all those things happen when they enjoy life and laugh.
Yes, children when they're younger, they don't have any fear. I remember when I learned to ski at 8 years old, in Edinburgh, by the way, but on a dry ski slope. But there's no fear. There is no fear at all. A dry ski slope's like nylon bristles. So when you fall on it, it's damn sore, but it's very, very slow. It's slower than snow. Oh. So when I went to Europe for the first time and was skiing in snow, I went to the Pyrenees, Andorra, between France and Spain, and I was on snow for the first time, and I couldn't believe it. It was like gone from 40 k's to 1,000 k's like that. But the good thing is, when you fell on snow, it was softer than nylon bristles. But yeah, I learned on false mat things. But yeah, no fear. No fear. But you asked me to go and do that now. The fear factor is there, because I do believe that fear becomes more and more inherent as we age and as we get older, because our consciousness sometimes expands so much that we're more aware of the dangers and the liabilities that are out there. So therefore we change. However, out the mouth of a child, or what is it they say, the truth can come out of the mouth of a babe's, or something like that. Children are beautiful, innocent little creatures. They're gorgeous. I love kids. I've got 2 boys myself who are 25 and 21 now. Can't believe it. Where the time goes, I just feel like they were at kindy not that long ago, you know. But they don't have the fears, because fears come with conditioning. And I've used that word loosely, because we are, and we do inherit our belief structure and our fear structure from those around us, from parents, from family, from friends, from teachers, from anything. Because if somebody reacts to maybe, say, a spider in the room and is terrified of it, there is every chance that child in the room will pick up that fear because of his learned behaviour. You know, but all these chains of fear can actually be broken. But it takes work and it takes time, but it also takes commitment that you want to have to do it, you know. But the good thing about the laughing, Julie, the next time if you're having a bad day, you look in the mirror and you start to laugh, like, ha, ha, ha. Just start laughing. And the reason being is the guy that invented laughing yoga, I've got a moustache.
And the interesting thing about these glasses is, you know, if it's a dreary day, you put these glasses on because they're really yellow and it comes up. Look, you wouldn't believe the amazing day that's out there. It's just so beautiful, all because of these glasses.
And because you're now talking about colour therapy, which is another one of my favourite things, yellow is the colour of the solar plexus. The solar plexus is where we actually end up harvesting sometimes for the wrong reasons, all our emotions and stuff like that. So wearing yellow will help to release that as well. Because I've got a whole set of different coloured glasses that I use when I do colour therapy. Because the word energy, it covers everything, anything that can change your vibration. And you've just confirmed that by wearing those yellow glasses. And the laughing side as well, going back to that, that was invented by a guy called Dr. Madam Kataria in Mumbai, in a park in Mumbai. But he thought he had to make people laugh naturally. So he sat in a park and he was going on about the laughing, blah, 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 told all these jokes until it was scientifically proven that you can fake it until you make it. A false laugh still releases those beautiful endorphins and chemical reactions in the brain. So you can laugh yourself better. You can laugh yourself well. Laughter is the best medicine. It is a medicine. Use it. So the next time you're feeling a bit low or you're feeling, you know, your mood or anything, look in the mirror, put your glasses on and just start laughing. I point at people and I go, they think I'm nuts. Well, I am, but that's by the by. Doing everything I do probably does that as well. And, you know, there's a laughing yoga. I do a lot of meditation and stuff as well. I do a lot of healing classes. I do a lot of workshops. I've got one coming up on the 22nd, which is understanding your energy, body, and chakras. And I'm going to go into a big in-depth discussion about that. Everything's interactive because I like people to get involved. Hands-on. That's why my hands are always moving. Hands-on. That's the thing. Admin, forget that. I'm not good at admin, but do the hands-on stuff. The stuff that's going to make the change, make you work, or make a better version of yourself than what you were perhaps yesterday, you know? Because life is difficult. It throws us curveballs all the time. Just catch it, put it in the net and score a goal. That's what I say. Now, we were saying earlier on, we were going to talk about my lovely, beautiful Shakti acupressure mats.
Yes.
Everybody goes, oh, yuck. Oh, well.
I've got a nice purple one.
You've got one.
I
seen
have.
it the other day. There is the sun's coming in a wee bit, which is good. You might reflect on there a wee bit. This is the black one, okay? I always have stock of them because I love them. And again, because my circulation was pretty crap after a blood clot and stuff like that and chemo, I love the mats because it's improved my circulation. And when my podiatrist said to me, your circulation is good, Martine, then that was all the answer I needed. That was great. So it's magic. Because even at the moment in the house and the sun's shining, I've got my woolly socks on because I have to keep my feet warm. And normally I wear hats. You probably see me with hats everywhere. I like my head to be warm as well. So if my hands and my feet are warm, my body's roasting. And I like heat, not cold like we have in Scotland. So these Shakti acupressure mats, they are based on the principle of acupressure. And they actually are modelled on the ancient tradition of the Indian bed of nails. Remember the gurus used to lie on all these nails and everybody used to go, ooh, ah, oh, I could never do that. I could never walk over coals. Actually, you can, because it's all got to do with mindfulness as well. These mats, the ones that I normally recommend, there's a green one, just to show you. The green, the black, and the orange, which I love the orange, because I love orange. And the beautiful sacred geometry on the back as well, which is gorgeous. With these mats, there's 3 types of mats. There's a light mat, which has 8,000 spikes, which is for people that do feel sensitivity, like a drop of a hat. Because remember, these are, I'll put it up closer, I think you did this the other day. These are spikes. You know, I can feel that on my finger, you know. I can really feel it on my finger. Wait till you lie down on your back, but you'll love it. It's magic. So these ones, the green, the black, and the orange, I've got 6,000 spikes. Now, the 6,000 spikes are marvellous, and it works on the principle of acupressure. So in whatever part of your body is lying on the mat, those pressure points will be activated. Now we have acupuncture, which is the needle. I'm not overly fond of needles, Julie. I don't think anybody actually is, to be honest. And I have tried acupuncture. I had it once, and actually it was great. I didn't feel it. I was really surprised because the needles are so fine and small.
Yes.
Acupuncture targets specific pressure points. With the mat, you're actually acupressure, but you're doing acupressure on various points of the body. So when we stand on the mat with our feet, which there's different ways, and I introduce people how to do it in my Shakti classes. I do a Shakti class called Pure Bliss once every 3-4 weeks. Now I'm about 3 weeks. And I hold it in Colombo Street Library on a Friday evening. And it's amazing. It's a full instruction on the mat with different positions, working your whole body on the mat. And at the end of the class for 20 minutes, it's a live sound journey meditation. And Kerry Grant, who's the guy that dresses up as Gandalf, who's my good mate, he comes in and plays the flutes. So we do the shamanic drumming together, and we carry everybody through a gorgeous sound bath, lovely meditation sound journey. But they are encouraged to lie their back on the mat by taking their top off. Not all nude, by the way, in the room, may I add. They have their blanket with them and their pillow as well. So they can move their top up, down, whatever they wish, whatever is comfortable at their pace. Because the best experience on this mat is skin to mat. And they're so, the only word I can use is gobsmacked. That's a Scottish word. They are so in awe. The fact is, they start on the mat and they're, oh. And I'm like, just breathe. Take your focus away from the sensation you're feeling and breathe. Because what happens is, the body, as soon as it's on the mat, it's like, what's this? This is danger. So it goes into natural fight or flight. So you either run off the mat and go, ouch, I'm not going back to that again, that's horrible, which a lot of people do, or you stay on the mat and you focus on your breath and you bring in like the deep diaphragmatic breathing, like the yogic breath again, and then soon you're in control. So it's mindfulness, which is why the mats are good for people that have anxiety and depression as well, because it's bringing the focus back into the now. You've got nothing else to think about than that mat that's under your feet, believe you me. Because it is a different feeling. But if you bear with it, might feel, people might say pain, prickles. Give it, and then you'll start actually feeling the energy in your feet and your circulation tingling and moving up your legs. It's amazing. And you won't know it until you've done it. And I do urge people to come to one of my classes, because you'll get a full instruction on how to use the mat. And they've been going for over a year now, which they're really, really good. But the benefits of this Shakti acupressure mat is phenomenal. Because it's not approved by is it FDA in this neck of the woods, or it's organic, it's holistic, whatever, it's not drug-based, so I can only say it may help. But what I can say personally, it helps me. So take from that. Yeah. And I push them, even when I do my Wednesday spiritual class in the house here, I have the mats available for people if they want to use them, because they're a tool. And I feel as a practitioner, I want to be able to give my clients and people that come and see me the maximum. So for instance, if they come for a Reiki session, they'll get a Reiki session, they'll get sound vibrational, they'll get crystals, and if they want, they can lie on the mat at the same time. So they'll get everything that I physically can throw at them, so to speak, in a nice way, so they can catch it and enjoy it, or discuss with them, because it may be too much as well. It may be too much. Because when we work with our energy body and we do all these things, even with the acupressure mat and with the laughing yoga and with the Reiki, we're working on the blockages of energy that are contained within our body. Now, when we have a blockage in our body, that's when the energy sticks and we get stuck, stagnant, stale energy that then manifests or can into something else. If you've ever had a sore knee, okay, and then what do you do with your knee? You rub your knee if it's sore. Natural reflex action. You're rubbing it. So when you rub your knee, I'm actually doing it now. I can't believe it. I'm rubbing my knee. Told you I'm a doer. I'm an actioner. So I'm doing it now. I'm rubbing my knee like this. So when you rub your knee, what you're doing is you're activating the blood flow. Because the blood flow will go to the trauma area and start its healing process naturally. That's what the body's all about. So that's also what the acupressure brings in when you're working on the mat. And I'm a great believer, Julie, that as a human race, we leave things too late. You need to prevent and not cure. So working on yourself holistically, meaning as a whole, using the word whole holistically, then we can do these things. We can do gentle little things and bring it into a regime every day. And another thing is, you know, with the mind I was talking about earlier in the mindset, thought, attitude for gratitude. You've probably heard that. Gratitude's a big thing at the moment. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? When you first open your eyes in the morning, what is going through your mind? Is it, oh my God, I've got to get to work. Oh dear, I've got that file to deal with the day. Oh. Now, if you wake up and you have that instant reaction, that's going to set your day. That's a precedent for the rest of your day. You wake up, I'm really blessed here that I'm surrounded by lots of native trees and lots of big coniferous trees all year round. And I've got a bellbird in the garden, and recently there's a tui that's come in. So the bird song, it might be sometimes 4:30 in the morning, but it's absolutely beautiful.
It is beautiful.
So so I wake up and I smile and I'm grateful. But sometimes it takes trauma, illness, crap happening in life for us to appreciate the small things. But just wake up and start to appreciate them now. And for your psyche, even just taking a walk in the botanical gardens, go into the orchid house or something like that, go up the Rapaki track, go in the gondola, take in the views, drive up to the sign of the kiwi, which is just up the back of me at the hills here, you know, and just breathe. Take time and breathe. Take it in, enjoy it, because that all changes the mindset, because it is mind over matter at times. And even though you're going through maybe something at the moment that's, you think you're never going to get out, there are ways that will help you cope. And to me, it's coping strategies, life tools, your toolbox for life. I think mine is overflowing at the moment.
I think it might be.
Yeah, but it's overflowing. But if I don't need that one, I might take that one. So I have a choice. So when you've got a choice, the brain will tell you you're never going to run out. You know? But everything's energy. Everything is energy. And it's up to you how you deal with your own energy vibration. Because negative vibes can change to positive vibes. You can transmute your own energy. But it's up to you. And it's like people. Last night, the class was all about dealing with negative people. It was hilarious sometimes because I bring in humor. And it's not to belittle anybody who's negative. It's being able to deal with it in a positive manner, that you can deal with it without hurting the other person, you know, because we're all negative at times. We all have negative thoughts because that's what happens. Opposites attract, positive and negative. Just look at the battery in a remote control. One's got to be the positive side and one's got to be the negative side for the charge. So, you know, we're not going to stop negative thoughts, but we can deal with them and process them. And I'll let you into one wee secret, and then I promise I'll shush. My wee secret is, what I teach is my AAA approach to life. Now, your AAA approach to life is your battery pack for life. I'm like an Energizer bunny, so that battery pack's on me all the time, you know. Just keep topping it up. And the AAA battery pack, AAA, because we do have a AAA battery, the wee ones, is acknowledge what's happening to you. Okay, so it's acknowledge, accept, and action. So the first one, acknowledge. You're going to write this down, aren't you?
I am.
You are. Acknowledge. So we acknowledge what's happening to us, which is really the easiest, peasiest, lemon squeeziest part of the whole lot. Acknowledge what's happening to you. The next one, this is a hard one. Accept what's happening to you. And this is when the standard joke comes in that's said amongst a lot of people I know. The accept part. Too many people jump on a plane, go on holiday and jump in the river called denial. So they're in denial. The Nile River. That's meant to be a joke. You might be laughing by now, Julie. My joke is obviously rubbish. Anyway,
That's funny because I can't tell jokes.
You're
People
listening.
laugh when I tell jokes because I'm so useless at it.
Oh, I'm laughing. Oh, golly gosh. That's why I've got laughter lines. Look, I blame them. They're not wrinkles, they're laughter lines. That's my version of it, definitely. But the accept part, on a serious note, is really, really hard for the mind to do, to accept what's happening to you. Because only when we accept what's happening to you are we then able to do the last part, which is action. And action means deal with it. What do you need to do now that you've accepted what's happening to you? Whether it be something good, something bad, something indifferent, if something's happening to you, you need to acknowledge, accept, and then work out your plan and how you're going to deal with it. So that's my AAA battery pack for life.
Nice.
So when you get up in the morning, before you go out the door, when you're sticking on your scarf or you're putting your knickers on, your bra on, your top on, whatever, or obviously boys not, stick the battery pack on your back, do it visually, just imagine it in your mind's eye, get the third eye out, come on, imagine it, battery pack, you're set for the day.
Perfect.
I'm charged. So it's little things like that. Self-talk. Don't talk to yourself too much like I do. I even answer myself back at times. As I said, it's a Scottish thing, or maybe not.
No.
But do self-talk, because self-talk, talk yourself out of your thought. But the one thing is, what you have to do is acknowledge that thought as well. Because if you talk yourself out of it and don't acknowledge it, it's going to come back. So it's going back to the battery pack again. Acknowledge, accept, and action. So you really, it's accepting everything what's happening to you. And we don't want to accept the bad things that are happening to us, or the not so nice things that are happening to us, or maybe you've been made redundant in a job. You don't want to accept that. But why don't you want to accept that? Because it's going to bring up emotions. Emotions are energy. They come from our energy body. They come from our thought process, which in turn is energy, back to Einstein. We don't want to accept because that's rejection. So that brings in feelings and deeper emotions. So these are all the kinds of things that I work with people, because we have to acknowledge, how are you feeling? And it's okay to not be okay. That's the big thing that's out just now. And it really is okay to not be okay. What's not okay is to do nothing about it. And what's not okay is to blame the world for everything that's going on with you as an individual. That's different if you're looking at world politics and stuff like that. I'm not even going to go into that. But we're talking about you as an individual. You as a being. You are worthy. You are worth everything. And have the faith and the belief in yourself. And just keep going on with that. And you will struggle. Everybody struggles at times. I've done it myself. But I know that the stuff that I do, I've done myself. So I've walked. You can talk the talk, but I've walked the walk. And I'm still walking the walk. Because every day we learn. And it's beautiful to learn something new every day. Whether it's meeting somebody new, learning something different, of even a word, one new word a day, that does amazing things to the mind. Keep the mind active. Keep the imagination going. If you don't have an imagination, people don't. I did as a child, you know. I had the mad axemen under the bed and the bogeyman. That was fear as well. I didn't like the dark. You have to work through these things. And these are things that children can be scared of as well, you know. But again, if that's the case, or somebody has a fear, somebody has a phobia, they can work through it. Don't think it's just stop, I'm going to have to live with this for the rest of my life. And all these emotions like guilt, shame, all these, anger. Anger's brilliant. Anger's actually a good one when it comes, because anger is part of a release. But then again, it's how are you going to release that anger? Are you going to take it out on someone else? Or are you going to channel it to something? Exercise, running, treadmill, lie on the Shakti mat. There's all different ways we can channel our pent up energy that needs to be released, you know? So I think I've probably said a wee bit of a lot.
Well, what we'll do is we'll put the links for all those things that you talk about, you know, your meetings, your events that are coming up. We'll put the
Yeah.
links below so that people can easily access those opportunities. And
Okay.
is there one final thing you would like to say?
Does that mean one word, Julie? What? You're laughing now.
No, you're allowed to say more than one word.
What would I like to say to wrap up? Well, to me, it's never a wrap up because it's always ongoing. Life is beautiful. Yes, we have problems in life. People go through some horrible traumas and some horrible dilemmas. If you're there and you can help that person, do the random acts of kindness. We talked last night about pay it forward. Now, they call pay it forward when you're buying something, so you're getting something back in return. Pay it forward with kindness. Go out and smile at somebody. You could change their whole vibe, their whole vibration, their whole energy, their whole thought process. What if they've had a crap day and they were thinking about doing something not so good to themselves? You've given them time. The best thing you can do with people is give them time. Time is the most valuable commodity in the world. Speak to people, communicate with people. Now, you can do that without being, you can become a carer, but not the caregiver. That's a good thing to say, actually. Because the caregiver are the professionals who are professional at that field. Okay? I'm talking just as a generalization here. But keep the caring. Keep it coming from the heart space, our center. Speak your truth. Too many people find it hard to speak the truth. But do speak your truth, because you can still do it, but do it softly, softly, gently, gently. It doesn't have to be black and white. Again, we were talking about that last night. I used to be, when I was younger, a very black and white young woman. Black and white, there was no grey in the middle. That area in the middle is a bridge. The black and the white and the massive bridge grey. Most of life is in the grey because we're indecisive about what we want to do, and we're still evolving and deciding what area we want to go or what crossroads we're at and what path we're going to take. But you can just sit back, take time and go into yourself. Feel your body, meditate, feel. Does it feel right for you? Trust your gut. Your gut is a brain. Your heart is a brain. And your brain's a brain, funnily enough. So we've got the three brains and they'll talk to each other. All talk to each other. So that was more than a word.
But it was a good sum up. So I want to thank you so much for coming in and joining me today. It's really wonderful what you're doing and healing the whole body, which is so important.
And I'm still healing mine, and I'm constantly healing mine every single second, every single day. It's the way it works. We all are. Because if we say that we're not, then we're not beyond anything. We're never going to be beyond anything. We are tiniest, minuscule little bit of sand in the whole universe, or even on this planet for that matter, bringing it down a scale. So, but you're important. You are important. But you need to look after yourself and look after the mind. Get help when you need help.
Absolutely get help.
And Julie, you're doing a wonderful thing as well, what you're doing with all your sites and stuff. I'm loving watching it, and especially seeing some of the locals all coming onto your pages. It's lovely. It's really, really nice. And that to me brings in collective consciousness as well. So I'm really up in consciousness. I love consciousness and the whole chats and debates about it. But individually, you make a difference to you. You vibrate that out. You make a difference to someone else. Your aura is interacting with their aura. So it has, without you maybe realizing it, what you do has a knock-on effect. It's a domino effect. So imagine us all doing that little bit. And then if we're all thinking about the same things let's try and make ourselves better, we will make ourselves better. I am better. And bring your focus back into the now. Then that's wonderful. Then collectively, the consciousness is growing. It's amazing. It is. Really amazing.
It is.
I'll go back and read up some Einstein again, I think. He's my favourite guy.
Can't wait to meet your dad with his Einstein look.
Einstein, go. And my mother, of course, as well. My mother's known as the Duchess, but she'll be furious if she knows I've said that. She'll probably listen when I tell her about the podcast. But I'm so excited about them coming, because it's been 5.5 years. So everybody thinks I'm normally an energy ball as it is, but when they come, I'm going to be, woo!
Oh,
but
my
remember,
goodness.
always to ground yourself back to reality.
Yes.
Very important. Feet on the ground, ground yourself.
Thank you.
And I'm going to do that today, shoveling. I've got 4.5 tons of shingle out the drive. 4.5 tons are already down. There's another 4.5 tons to go down.
So you're relaying your driveway?
Yeah. Bit by bit.
Bit by bit?
Yeah, bit by bit. Yeah. I'm kind of stubborn when it comes to stuff like that. The muscles.
All right.
You know why? Because anything's possible. We can do it. Now, if you wanted to lay the driveway with 10 scoops at a time, or you wanted to lay the driveway with 1 shovel at a time, or you wanted to lay the driveway with 1 chip at a time, the fact is, it's still going to be done. That's that. I'm ending on that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you very much indeed. And have a great day. All right? I'll speak to you soon, love. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.